Yo!
Hey, what? You expected me not to join you right away?
Well, you did say that you were busy, I think, eating. So if you were busy, I wanted to respect the space, but it's all good.
It was
Welcome,
my
man.
side
Welcome.
hustle. Yeah. Yeah, no, all's good. I've already finished eating a little bit ago, so no, you gave me plenty of time, so it worked out great.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm
How'd the
actually
window
I'm
winner
actually
go?
live
Oh,
right now.
oh,
And this is just like a,
oh,
it's a big old chatting video, chatting stream and all that. Chat, if you
awesome.
guys are not sure who is with me in the DMs talking right now, if you guys don't know him, he goes by NotLad on YouTube. I don't actually know if you stream on Twitch anymore. I don't think you do, but he does
Not anymore.
do
It was
content on YouTube.
a good
And
time.
I've done various zombies videos and content with him in the past. So if you guys are OGs of the channel, we're not really that old of the channel, but stuff. If you guys are OGs of the channel, you guys will know him.
Make
But
sure to hit that subscribe button today.
subscribe for more
You will not regret it.
discussions.
No. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, welcome everybody to the Wundercast, episode 1.
We did settle on a name for this, didn't we? Yeah.
Oh, have you not announced that yet?
No, I don't think I have. No. So
Sorry.
we actually and chat I feel horrible because we're starting this thing off with without someone. The group that we have, there's of course myself, there's Not Let here, and then we also have a third person who can't
May
make
he
it
rest in
today.
peace.
He can't make it today. He is working, and tomorrow he has a event where he is quite literally jumping out of an airplane. So kudos to
Might
him.
actually rest in
Hopefully
peace.
he lives to tell the tale. We'll have plenty to talk about on the next one. But
Absolutely.
shout out to him for the idea for the name of, if this is even
He
going to
was the
become like a
mastermind.
podcast. Yeah, he is the
Genius.
mastermind behind it all. He
Yeah,
is the
he actually
mastermind.
named it off. It was such a good name. I actually really like that one. We had many ideas though. We had many
A
different
lot of bad
takes
ideas,
on
chat. A lot
different
of
stuff.
bad
There's
ideas.
so
Trust
many
me. Trust
different
me.
like
We were not
zombie
cooking. We were not.
yeah, there was a lot of bad ideas, let's just say that. But we came across a few winners. Unfortunately, some of them were taken already. But Wundercast seems to be the winner. So
Yeah,
that, I believe, will be our official name.
that
So
probably
that's
will
pretty
be
sweet.
it. No more
Oh, I
Bunny
appreciate that.
Simulator Zombies and no more sequel before prequels. Yeah, I mean, they say, as Kevin Drew mentioned in the short teaser we got for Black Ops 6 Zombies, he did say that we are continuing the Dark Ether story from where we left off in Cold War. And obviously one of the maps is an island that was hinted towards the ending of the Forsaken cutscene where Peck was talking to somebody at a dock, some fisherman or something, and just pointing to somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic.
I'm so
I'm
excited.
pretty sure that this is gonna take place after the Cold War, so yeah, we're definitely getting a sequel. This is not gonna be like timeline vector to Vanguard Zombies. It's not gonna be anything like that.
No.
But yeah. Obviously, this discussion is kind of pulling on one very tiny thread that's from that trailer. And it's the fact that every single scene that Kevin is talking, you can see on the table next to him, there is a small jar of what looks like gumballs inside. That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
An exciting topic that is, because I absolutely love the gumballs from Black Ops 3. I thought they did a really great job with that. They tried to duplicate it with Black Ops 4, of course, with their elixirs, which is a different format, but it's kind of the same thing. There is one particular elixir that I really would like to see become a gobblegum in Black Ops 6. And I
As in,
was
like, it
really
wasn't a
trying to
Gobblegum in Black Ops 3, but it was in Black Ops 4
no,
and you wanted to return.
it
Is
was
that
in
what you
Black
mean?
Ops 4. It's the only
Okay.
one in Black Ops 4 that I really wanted. And I cannot for the life of me find it in the list just yet, but it was
Oh
the
no.
ability
Oh
was
no.
basically you would teleport to a down person in the map.
Nowhere
And I
but there.
really like
Nowhere
that.
but there. I know exactly
That's that
which,
one.
and that's actually a classic elixir too.
Is it? Yeah.
The glitches that are still in the game because of that gum too.
Yeah.
Chat. I know everyone. I know, and everyone watching this on YouTube as well. I know everyone is hurting internally right now if you have gotten soft locked on the Blood of the Dead Easter egg because someone went down out of the technical bounds where you're supposed to be for the boss fight, and someone's like, oh shit, well I gotta revive this guy, I gotta go to him, right? So you pop that and you're oh no.
That's the only one I really liked, and I found it so useful when we were playing. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess from like Black Ops 3, we still have the Phoenix up and those ones, which technically would be better because you can revive multiple people and
Right, yeah.
anywhere on the map without having to leave your area, of course. Which that is fantastic, just the way it is. But I don't know. There's something about that one in particular I really liked. I like that it brought you to the character instantly. It cleared the zombies out in your area, so you didn't have to mess with that either.
Yeah,
And
yeah, definitely.
there was a convenience about it that I really liked.
Part of the discussion that I want today to be is like you already said earlier, looking back at all the different systems that we've had, like consumables from World War II, the Fate and Fortune cards from IW, the Gobblegums and Elixirs from Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, like really talk about what we like and what we don't like about
Okay.
yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
I don't know how in the
Because
world they're gonna
how
implement
else are
all
we gonna
those
be
in there.
satisfied when they give us
No way.
Gobblegums? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah.
Gobblegums is the only one I heard originally, so that I'm thrilled about. I'm thrilled to hear that that's coming back, and that'll be
Yeah.
great. But
Yeah,
I am
definitely.
curious to hear, however, like if you were to rank like Gobblegums from like best to worst, what would hit number one on your list for like the best Gobblegum out of all of them? And if I'm to say, I'm
Raindrops.
not going to count. Oh, okay. I was gonna
Raindrops.
say I wouldn't
Easily.
count like a perkaholic
You
because
know,
that just seems like an obvious
okay.
thing, but
So yeah, this is funny. This is funny.
Mhm.
So I don't know if anybody else got this in their YouTube recommended feed. I did. I got a small little like community poll thing that Glitching Queen uploaded to her community tab on her channel, and
Oh,
she
okay.
was asking the community, what do you guys think is like the best gobblegum, it was like, what would you bring in or something like that, and the
Oh,
listing
yeah.
was like Perkaholic, Shopping Free, like the ones that people are
Shopping
mostly
free too.
familiar with, right? And then
Yeah.
there was something else, and Raindrops wasn't listed, and
No?
I didn't vote. I went in the comments and I was like, Raindrops, it's overpowered. You get points, you get perks, you get
Uh-huh.
ammo. It's and in some games you get specialist ability, you get death machines in Black Ops
Yep.
3. It's better than shopping and Perka, theoretically
Yeah,
speaking. Like
honestly.
conceptually, it is just better.
There's a lot more to it, yeah.
Crawl
No, I agree.
space.
That actually
Chat,
surprises me, to be honest.
imagine they give us like a void bow-esque step for an Easter egg in Black Ops
Ooh.
6, and that is the sole
Perfect.
reason for crawl space just being back. Just imagine that for a second. Dude, that would be so weird. Yeah,
Man,
power vacuum is a really good one too. Power vacuum is really good.
that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one would you say you would least want to see come back? Like, if they didn't bring it back, you'd be perfectly fine?
It'd be perfectly fine. Well, so this is a difficult question to answer.
Mhm.
Because for me, most likely the gobblegum or perk that I wouldn't want to return would be the one that I use the least. And
Okay.
I'll just say this much: there are gums that I haven't used because I
There are some pretty-
have zero reason to use them. So I could name maybe a couple
Yeah, there's a few.
if I
Actually.
can remember the names even, but like let me think here for a sec. So
I was kind of
board
thinking like
games,
carpet.
that's
Yep, the
memed
carpenter
upon.
ones. Yeah.
No one, you know, I mean, I know the last couple zombie games we've been outside, we've been open world, we haven't really been indoors.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're getting round based, I know we're getting inside,
Yeah.
but does that mean we're getting barricades? And also, who
Honestly,
the F cares about barricades?
probably
I'm
there's a
angering the
little bit,
BO2 community right now with still barricades. I'm aware of that, but honestly, y'all, do y'all really care? Do y'all really care?
Yeah, like barricades, I don't know. It's nice if you need like a little extra cash for something sometimes. I found like
Right, yeah.
being able to
Like
build
that's the
barricades
only other
can be
reason why
nice,
you'd be
but
excited to grab a carpenter,
that would
like,
be
oh
it.
yay,
But
free points.
Gobblegum itself doesn't give you any money when you use it. So honestly, it's not useful. Like,
Uh
wait, does
no.
it? It doesn't,
Gobblegum
right?
does
I'm
give you
pretty
money.
does it?
There's so many gums that can give you money. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, the carpenter one. When you use the carpenter one, it doesn't actually give you money.
Oh, that's
Ever
what you
during
mean.
stuff, so
Okay, okay.
it's completely useless.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, some people would probably use it if they don't have like extra credits, if they want to transform the drop into something else like on Shang or on Moon and you get the hacker pad. Although most of
Yeah,
the time people are using like extra credit because it has those 4 charges over the 3. Like it's definitely the preferred one. Cuz you're not going for the quality of the gum, you're going for the quantity of like how many charges it has at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I pulled up a list that's on Game Rant, and they ranked the top 7, or is it 6? 7, 8. Hang on. The top 10, sorry. The top 10 gobble gums. And it really surprised me for which one got number 1. And I wanted to see if you felt kind of similar feel about this, but Anywhere But Here got number 1 for top gobble gum. It
Okay.
surprised me.
So I would not put ABH in the number 1 spot. I would
No, I
not.
wouldn't either.
I
But it's
probably would put
interesting
it in
saying.
like the top 10 or even top 5.
Yeah. I
Maybe top 3.
I mean, it is
That's
useful.
scary
I've
territory.
used it many
Maybe not top
times, but
3, but it's up there, but it is not. Yeah, no. There's definitely, in my opinion, there are definitely
yeah,
some gums
no,
that beat it.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, it really surprised me seeing that one as number 1.
Yeah. Top
Um,
10 for sure, but 1 is push. I completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah.
yeah. It doesn't look like they really got much of a description why they chose that one in particular, but and
Yeah.
can you guess what number 2 might be?
Um
It's very similar in like
please don't tell me
how
it's
do I say that?
alchemical antithesis.
No, no, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
In Plain
Okay.
Sight got number 2.
That is just why? Why is that
I
there?
I mean,
Why
granted, when
is that
I first
there?
started playing Black Ops 3, I did use it a lot because like learning the maps,
It's it
sometimes you
is it
get
not
into
the best
spicy
of the starter
situations.
classics? Is it not? I
Maybe
feel
these are
like
just like your beginner ones. Maybe that's why they're putting it in
it's
this list.
Black Ops 3, so stock option doesn't really benefit you. That's not really a
No.
thing unless if you look at like Black Ops 4. Like stock option is much better, but yeah,
Yeah.
no. I just don't see
Really,
that.
Swordplay got 5? That I feel that should be up a little higher. I really like Swordplay. That was actually a really fun one to get.
Sword
I still kind
Flay.
of like it to this day using that
Okay.
one.
I'm
That
not
one's can
gonna
be fun.
lie. I'm not gonna lie. I sleep on that gum. And the only reason I sleep on that gum is because if I'm running a category, I usually don't run classics.
Yeah, no
That,
classics.
as a
These can
speed
be
run
all
or a
classics in
hardcore
this list.
activity, that feels like a gum that you would only run for that classic gameplay.
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah, no, I get that for sure. Wow, stock option 4th place. That surprises me. Stock option I would have put lower on the list too.
Yeah.
Huh.
I just don't think it's Swordflay and Ethereal Razor lol.
But actually, speaking
Literally,
on that
literally, they
though,
turned it like Swordflay was literally turned into a perk in Black Ops 4, and honestly,
it
it
was, yes,
kind of
yeah.
it evolved into a perk. It evolved
Yeah.
into a perk, but then again,
Well, they
that's
still
probably going
offered
to
it
upset
as
a lot
like
of
a
people because
consumable too.
some people say, well, Black Ops 4 didn't really have 100% original perk ideas because they were taking an inspiration from some of the gobblegums and prior games, and
Some, yeah.
that's understandable. That's understandable. Which, I mean, obviously that goes to show that there is room inside of Black Ops 6 for new perks, which I really want, even if
Yeah.
it's just one.
Yep.
Because I know how it is. I know how it is these days. And then obviously, yeah, we want new gobblegums because of the gameplay loop. But yeah, slight change of subject here. So,
Yeah.
the actual gameplay loop of getting gobblegums and using them or setting them up in your loadouts. I know that for not everyone knows this. Not everyone knows this. But for those that don't know, the way that the gobblegum system works in Black Ops 3 is that you have a loadout and you can choose between several ones. The progress of that loadout that you can save does get reset in Black Ops 3 if you prestige. That's one downside of it. But if that's not a concern, then obviously you forever have those loadouts. You can choose between 5 gums. It doesn't matter where you put them in the loadout. And those gums are randomly given to you each game. But you can have a limit of 3 purchases per round, and each time that you purchase the gum machine, you're not going to get one of the gums that you previously got within a cycle. So if you get 5 hits of the Gobblegum machine, you're going to get every single Gobblegum in your loadout, and you can't get that one again until you get all 5 of those. It effectively resets the cycle. So I think some people definitely do enjoy the fact that with that knowledge, you do have some sense of control. But it's not like the Fate and Fortune system in IW where you can just choose a card at your whim, and you do get 5 different cards to choose from, or even Black Ops 4, even though with Black Ops 4, there is much more, in my opinion, there's much more limitations of your instant access and your instant activation of the elixir, and plus you only get 4 slots, you don't even get 5. So, I just want to know your thoughts on, basically, like, what do you think? What do you think would be even if it involves like UI interfaces, in Black Ops 6 to allow players basically to have more control over the setup that they want for their game? Like, obviously, players are probably going to want variety, and they get that choice in that matter, but not like it's all RNG.
I
Like, to
definitely
what extent
understand.
do you think the player should have control?
I personally, from all the games, all the Call of Duty games I've played, I've enjoyed having the control of it personally, because like we were talking about World War II a little while back.
Yeah,
World War II zombies, they allow you to choose 2 consumables with so many uses for each consumable that you can use. And I like the idea of being able to choose them ahead of time and having those ready available to be able to use. Black Ops 3 wasn't bad with it though, just being you could set particular gobblegums that you wanted in your game. It's just whether you get them right away or
right.
not
Yeah.
is always a little bit of a hit or
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah, it might
Um,
take you 0 points. It might take you
yeah.
5,000 points
And
plus
if you
because
really want to
because the
spend
price
money,
escalates each time that you
you
buy
you
it
keep
per
going.
round, and then if you do it consecutive rounds, the price it gets even bigger,
Yep,
and it's like it
even
costs
higher,
more
yeah.
than a perkaholic at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
And
can't
that
always buy all
randomness
the perks in
is
that game, but
also cool in its own respect. Like I do enjoy like that kind of not knowing what you get. That's something I've always loved about the mystery box. Cause you can hit it, you never know what weapon you're gonna get. You never know if
right.
it's gonna be good or bad. And there is something really cool about just that aspect in a game. And I've truly enjoyed that when it's come into play in other games I've done on my channel. It's just like yeah, that mystery of not knowing what is going to be available for you changes the gameplay of whatever you're playing exponentially in the terms of like it could be easier or it could be harder than normal. You know,
Yeah.
it's so there is something cool about that. But when it comes to zombies, I don't think that's necessarily something I've always looked for in game. I guess I like more that I can set up everything and be ready to go in because the zombies themselves are challenging enough. So I don't know. I guess everybody, it just depends on how they look at it, what their preference is. But for me, I like the idea that in the past we've been able to set up um like Fate and Fortune cards is one I actually thought was cool. It's kind of seems like a mix of Black Ops 3 and kind of like World War II zombies and stuff like that. Whereas not only can you set up multiple consumables that would aid you in a match, but you can also choose between them. So you get the option where you can choose them, but also you can have multiples. Um, I always felt with World War II, after I use the consumables I have, that's it. I can't get access to any of the other ones that are that I might have still on my account. Like I have hundreds of consumables saved, but you can only use those particular consumables that you got as many times as is allowed, and after you use it, that's it. So that is one downside with that one, but I like the ability to be able to go back and buy more. Like Fate and Fortune cards, you could do that. You could go back,
Oh,
buy more of the
so
cards, go
you actually
spend X
like the
amount.
grind of getting those, of like
I
getting
do. I
the
actually,
of
because
getting the
yeah, as you go up in
consumables.
rounds, you have more money to then be able to buy them again. So it's
Okay.
like you can go back and earn it. Of course, yeah, sometimes you won't have enough,
That's
and you'll have to
interesting.
work
That's
towards it.
interesting.
But
I don't know how
I
many
don't know.
people will probably agree with me on this, but personally me,
Hmm.
grinding for those isn't something that I kind of find as fun. I kind of view it a
Yeah,
little bit tedious.
yeah,
And also comparing the Fate and Fortune system to the consumables in World War II, and you're saying how it's like you have the choice between multiple consumables.
yeah,
What do you mean by that? Because in World War
yeah,
II, you obviously can have a self revive, and then you have you literally can choose two consumables.
yeah.
In
Well,
every
that's
other iterations of zombies that has this, you have more than two. Black Ops 4 has four, and Black Ops 3 and IW both have five.
yeah. No, kind of what
So
I was
so
getting
I
towards
guess
is
what I'm asking is like,
like
what do you mean? Sorry, yeah.
yeah, with like Fate, the two I'm thinking of in particular is Fate and Fortune cards and Gumballs. Just being that
Oh,
you
okay,
can like
okay.
get multiple of
So
those
more like
particular
IW
ones.
and BO3 like together.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, that's kind of more what I was thinking. Just
Okay.
without the randomness of not knowing what you're going to get. Like Fate and Fortune did it best where you can choose between the cards in your hand.
Right,
So if
yeah.
you need something at a particular moment, and I feel like for speed running and stuff, that it would really aid you because at a particular moment, you're going to need a particular card that would aid
As an
you in running
experienced
well.
IW
So,
speedrunner that does use this card system a lot, I actually agree
yeah.
with this. Yeah.
Yeah, see
There's
that's just my thought on it,
granted
but
most of the time there are a lot of situations where you would want to use cards in a set order and you have that power. There's
yeah.
other times where let's say that you're running Spaceland and you want to give everybody a wonder weapon and you pop
Yeah.
one Black Friday or a fire sale and everybody gets a wonder weapon and
Yeah.
there's another player in your team who still has that fire sale and it's the next card and you're like, well, wait a second. I don't want to use this now because everyone has one.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to. So why can't I just choose to the next one? So there you go. You have
Yeah.
that power to choose the card in the middle of the gameplay.
Hey, I want to pass by a crazy idea. I've never seen it implemented in the games, and I doubt it's going to be implemented in Black Ops 6. But what are your thoughts on like being able to choose your gobble gums in game? Like instead of choosing them before going into the match, like normally how you'd pick like your uh five or
So,
six
like, what you're
gobble gums.
saying is you would have the entire inventory of gums that you have accessible to, you
Yeah.
have unlocked, and you would be able to do something in game to choose that gum instead
In a
of
way, yeah. Like
navigating it
go
in
to a
a
station.
pre-made loadout in like a menus, for
Yeah.
example.
Go into like a station, kind of like how you go to like the Fate and Fortune refilling booth. I'm not even sure what you call
Or
that,
wait,
but
hold on. I
yeah.
think I know what you mean.
Um
I think I know what you mean. Kind of
I
like the Der Wonder Fizz in Cold War Zombies, where the player has the ability to
kind
go
of
up to it. If you interact with it, it opens up this small little UI box, and you can select which
yeah.
perk you want. It's not random as Der Wonder Fizz is commonly known as throughout
Yeah.
many of the history of zombies. But in Cold War specifically, you had that choice between perks. But
Yeah, kind of like
you're
that.
saying that what if you envision this for gobblegums?
Yeah.
I
I
see.
am still thinking a
I
bit of
think it would
randomness with
be
it though too.
probably not choice of any gobblegum that you have access to. I think it would be you would make a pre-made loadout, and then that would
Yeah.
be which gobblegum that you choose through like a similar sorry a similar navigation system like in the actual gameplay. So
Yeah.
zombies would technically be able to smack you off the machine and
Say
if you pick up a gum, it plays an animation and whatnot, just like in
yeah,
BO3.
the only problem I see with that kind of the kind of one you're describing is yeah, you would have to then go through your list and try to choose it in game, which is a little inconvenient. More what I was
Right.
thinking is that at the station you would go to, there would be certain ones available at certain times. So you can go
Oh.
in a particular set of gobble gums, either really useful or not at all, could be available to you, and you can choose those and pick them and something like that. I was kind of thinking on that idea recently, and I thought, like, that actually adds kind of a cool aspect to it.
So
But yeah,
trying to
I don't know.
compare this to chat, forgive me for comparing this because I know a lot of people don't like this. But
Uh-oh,
I'm
spill
kind of
it.
getting a certain vibe like I think it's the like the Tome of Rituals in Vanguard Zombies, which was RNG dependent, but like specifically the idea that like I guess you could even really say this with like weapon rarities that were in Cold War Zombies. The later the rounds you go, the higher the rarity weapons you'd get from the box, but you would get access to more rare gobblegums the later the rounds that you went inside of your gobblegum stash. So
Yeah.
like maybe you have like a base concept of a gobblegum pack and you select that, and then you go to a certain round, and that gobblegum, because you're on a high round, is like it maybe its color changes, maybe the goddamn gumball fucking glows. I don't know. I don't know.
That would
Maybe
be
it
cool, actually.
glows and it's like,
That would be
oh,
cool.
that this is a good gum. I want this. And you like pop it in, and it does something similar to its root, like what it's described in maybe like an in-game menu that like describes what it does, right? But then it has something extra to it, and it's like
Yeah.
you got to high rounds. You still want to use your gobblegums, even though you set those up or you've been looking into those maybe up to a couple of hours ago, depending on how long you're in a session, because it is all internet controlled. Um, how about you pop a burned out, right? And if you burn out zombies X number of times, you'll
Sure.
get a free perk.
That
Or
would
the
be
free
sick.
perk is like special. It's a free
Yeah.
perk. It's a random free perk, but you can't lose it.
Upgraded gobblegums. That
Yeah.
would be a cool
Yeah.
concept. I like
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah.
kind of sort of like like the upgrades that you could do for perks in Cold War Zombies,
Mhm.
like in the menus, like with Ethereum, but it's more integrated with the gameplay, which is what Vanguard tried to do with the perk system, but
See, that one I
it
haven't
it, it
done.
elevates the gobblegums. It elevates the
Okay.
gobblegums, and it entices the player to like do it in game, and you don't necessarily even have to grind for materials or some kind of a currency to upgrade it outside of the match. I think that's really
Hey,
interesting.
I personally think that's a great idea. That sounds really cool. It actually is making me think too. Like, how in Black Ops 3 we had the Monty what is it? The where you mix you try to like mix
Newton's
chemicals to get
cookbook.
your
Newton's cookbook. I know
that
exactly
one.
what you
Yes.
mean. Yeah. I know exactly
You
what you
know,
mean.
how they kind of did that, but what if you could take like your regular gobblegums that you get and then mix them together to create these super gobblegums like you're talking about? Like
Oh,
you could do that ahead of time. Like choose whatever combinations you want, mix them together and get something just crazy cool out of it. Like you could take two useless ones cuz that's something
wait.
I find
Oh
in
my
game.
God.
I
Wait,
get
wait.
so many
Hold up.
useless
You're
gobblegums I
cooking. You're
never
cooking.
use. So to
Wait.
use them I think is
What if
great.
you like you play through, and through like some gameplay element. You know how we
Mhm.
get schematics in Modern Warfare Zombies?
Oh yeah.
What if we got recipes? And you don't have to wait
Yeah.
for a daily rotation,
Oh,
and
that's nice. Yeah, I
you can
know.
instead of like there'd probably be like a daily rotation or something for like getting gobblegums, but you
Mhm.
could do a recipe to craft one at your will or to upgrade it at your will. And it would take that
Yeah.
gobblegum, maybe would take some other things. It probably would take currency, so there would be a little bit of grinding in it. But
Yeah. That's true.
that's interesting. Dude.
I
Yo,
do
someone in my
kind of
chat
like
just
the
said
idea,
make
though.
your own gobblegums.
I know that sounds
Dude,
so cool to me. It's
bro,
like build
people
me a
have
workshop.
modded that into Black Ops 3. Treyarch, give us
Yeah,
that. Give us that.
that would
We
be
got
sick.
custom perks, we got custom maps in past, bro, let us
Yeah.
customize gobblegums. Let us
Let us
customize
cook.
Let us cook.
Let us cook. Yes.
Let
I
us
like
cook.
that idea though, just because so as I played in many of the other games, you get a lot of useless cards that stock up. Like Fate and Fortune, you got the home remodel one.
For
You
my
get
D-cut
like tons
lovers
of
out
those.
there, perk insured, yeah. For a
Yeah.
non-D-cut player, it's great. It
You get
actually
all
has use, but
those.
if you are, then it's useless. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually would then have worth, because you can
Yeah.
then mix it to get maybe something incredible out
Something
of it.
that actually
Yeah.
has value even to a endgame player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
something that would be valuable more so in the higher rounds than the earlier rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
another thing that I would actually kind of like to see too is maybe more glitches with like these consumables that you use. For like Infinite Warfare and using the Fate and Fortune cards, you could glitch your game depending on what kinds you used and stuff, and use them for glitches. And I that was something I actually found so fun in game, learning about all these different glitches you can use in the map and how the different cards would
Like for
affect the game in
example,
certain
on
ways.
Solo Origins Black Ops 3, you can duplicate staffs with the self-medication gobblegum. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
I
know
completely forgot
exactly what you
about
mean.
that.
I know
Yeah,
exactly
like
what you mean.
those are
Yeah.
special memories for me. Like going back to those kind of things, like for instance, like Infinite Warfare doing like the three-gun glitch and stuff like that. And those kind of game-breaking
Yeah.
things, although they weren't necessarily intended, make it
They
so fun.
elevated the
And
experience. Yeah, they
it
elevated
did.
it.
And I really hope that with like the gobblegums and stuff they're bringing in, that you can do some of that stuff with it. You can kind of break the game slightly, um, in certain ways that is not totally unfair, but just simple things.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just absolutely
Please,
love that.
please, please don't make a broken gobblegum that blue screens the game like
Yeah, no,
every
not
time
that.
that you do it.
That's a bad
Please,
thing. We don't want
please don't give us a BO4 launch.
that.
But derived
Oh,
from like not non-server reasons, please.
hey, actually, we
Please don't
talked
give us a
about like
BO4
mixing gobblegums to make something better. What if there are mixed gobblegums that do something terrible? I just
Yeah,
wondering. Like,
like a negative gobblegum, like something
I
that
mean,
would
I don't know if
yeah,
that
that
would
would
go
like
over
hinder
well,
your
but
yeah. Yeah, I could see
I
that. That'd be
I don't know.
interesting.
I'm trying to think of what that could do. That sounds more like a challenges thing where you
That
get
seem
slowed
yeah, it
down
seems
or
more like a
or
challenge. It seems like
yeah.
if you like if you're using a gobblegum as a benefit, but it actually is like the opposite.
Mhm.
I mean, the only way I could see
Yeah,
that
I could see that
working
going
just
over
off of
well.
how I see it is if they like do it in like a grief mode. Like you can use
Mm.
a gobblegum to grief a teammate or
Actually,
not a teammate. Yeah, a teammate.
yeah. Yeah, that could be something. But yeah, otherwise in zombies, I guess I can't see that flying over too well because you want to get gobblegums to help benefit you. It's never the opposite. So yeah, no, that probably wouldn't work. But I still the like customize just mixing gobblegums together to get something great. I really like that idea, and that would actually be kind of cool. But yeah, I
Some of
I
the
really
gums that
haven't
you
heard too
consume in a
much
game, you
about
lose a perk in.
what kind of Black Ops 6 gobblegums are expected. I don't think we have any information on that just yet.
No, no, we don't.
But
No. All we can do is speculate on like what we have right now and try to like think about what they might add. I did
well,
see someone in the chat mention this because
yeah.
it's I might be completely wrong about this. We might find a way around it or it might just be like you can do it the way that it was like how it is right now with most games. But yeah, so this is a person asking my chat. It would suck if they made it so when you use a gobblegum, you close the game, you still lose the gobblegum. Chat,
Oh,
the
yeah.
rationale why that works in so many other games, like IW, like Black Ops 3, the
Hmm.
reason why is because that those games, they save that data, they don't rely on the internet the same way. Um, Black Ops 4, you need an internet connection to play that fully. They patched it in Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
And Black Ops 6 is unfortunately going to be a 100% online experience because you need the network to play it. It's very likely
Hmm.
it won't work that way. We might find
Yeah, to be
alternative
honest, don't like
means,
that as much,
but
but
yeah, that will definitely be something that players won't enjoy, because so many of us are so used to that.
yeah.
But how can Treyarch prevent that feedback upon doing so? Like, if anything, they do that to balance the game, right? But at
Hmm.
the same time, give us more rewards for, I guess, using them, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
just
no,
it
I
just thought,
gotcha.
because like a lot of people like to use megas. Megas in most cases
Yep.
are like just objectively better than the classics. How can we benefit the player in a sense that not just is it a perk that is really really nice to have. Like mega on its own is really nice, but how else can we engineer it so that players don't feel like they're losing tremendous amounts, right? Like
Yeah,
if they're
I
using
agree.
this, it's like, "Oh, dude, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm never gonna have it again." And
Yeah.
I mean, there's some merit to that feeling, I think. I personally, I'm not fond of it. I don't really like the idea of, well, I've got this one really good gum and I gotta wait. And I gotta wait to use it for the right
Uh-huh.
game.
Yeah.
And that game never comes. Chat, if you guys understand what I mean by that, y'all know I want to be rewarded for using gums. Like,
Yeah.
aside from what they do by themselves. I want to have more of a reason to use them.
Yeah. Actually, another thing too, and this kind of brings back the like creating your own gobblegums thing, but
Right, create yeah.
World War II, and this is something that has upset me. When I first got the game, I opened up one of my first consumable chests, and it gave me monkey bombs as a rare drop.
The Jack in the Box
The Jack in the
guarantee,
Box, yeah,
right?
their
Yeah.
version of monkey bombs,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got one of those cards. Never since, and I have played that game nonstop for many years, have I ever gotten that particular consumable ever again. And it just sucks because that's one I would like to use a lot more. That one is just it's useful. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
but
can imagine. Yeah.
the luck
Getting
of
monkeys
getting
every game is
particular
huge.
things is rough. Black Ops 3 changed that a little bit, where it's like if I got a particular gobblegum, well, they have offers where you could take some of your old gobblegums, mix them together to get the particular one you wanted. So you
Right.
had a little more
Yeah.
control of getting the particular ones you need
I
for
I definitely
going in
agree.
the
I
game.
think that we do need the Newton's Cookbook back in some way, shape, or form.
Something like
I
that. I
just
don't
have
know
a
the
really
same,
really
but
bad feeling that if we are gonna get it, it's probably not gonna be on launch. I
yeah,
hope to God it is, dude. I hope to God it is.
that would be really
And
nice.
this is why that we're like suggesting ideas for how else it could be used than just getting gobblegums, like to upgrade them potentially.
Yeah.
You know, give
Yeah,
give
yeah.
the devs a reason to put it in the game on launch. You know,
Exactly. Yeah, and
that's
I
what we
the
want.
one thing that I've been disliking most about the newer Call of Duty games is this whole like paid to win kind of mentality
Yeah,
where it's and I'm going to use Cold War as an example here, but Cold War had this thing where you could buy weapon schematics which would then give you a weapon that had a
had
more
a ammo
powerful
mod,
damage.
and yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, that's great. It's cool. If you have the money to be able to buy that, you get this upper hand that makes rounds go better. But I don't like that because it then becomes like a pay to win kind of experience
it does.
where
Yeah,
you have to pay to
yeah.
get the
You
better
literally
stuff. And
have to pay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I really hope that those elements don't come into the game.
Will
And
say
like,
that the some of the the Easter egg elements that IW had, they did actually have an influence on the Fate and Fortune system itself. So
yeah.
and I'll just quickly yap about this. So for anybody who's
Mhm.
watching this stream live right now or is gonna watch this as a YouTube video and you guys aren't too familiar with the Fate and Fortune system, I'll try my best real quick to explain it. So very similar to Black Ops 3, you've got two different kinds of cards. You've got Fate and Fortune cards like Classic or Mega Gobblegums. You have to choose a loadout up to 5 of them. But the way that you use them in game is you charge up a meter, and that meter basically you gain progress on it by earning points and spending points. I don't think a lot of people know, or many people who are relatively new to IW actually know that you can earn meter from spending points. I know I didn't even learn that until I started speedrunning this game. So it's kind of like the game rewards you for earning and for spending, which I think is genius because it just builds into the whole meter system. And then obviously you can choose what you want and you can pop it when you want, and it's awesome. The one gripe that I have with that meter system is that you gain double boost if you play on Director's Cut mode. And if you don't play on Director's Cut mode, it takes so long to get charged, whether you're earning or you're spending. It takes so long.
I guess I never realized that.
And you get even a little bit of extra meter boost too when you're in the Mephistopheles boss fight as well. Yeah. I don't think that was needed. I think that if you kept the meter boost the same way that it always was, like keep the Director's Cut thing, I think that would be much better. I really do feel like it is quite long. If you're playing on non-decut, it's a part of the Fate and Fortune gameplay loop that I definitely take for granted because I don't play non-decut much at all. I just don't. Like honestly, I'll just be honest with myself and you guys, of course. I don't really play it off at all, and I never notice this as a problem, and I always take advantage of it in the ways to optimize the game, but it gets so much harder when and you obviously spawn with less points, right? If you're not on decut. So it caters more to that experienced player's position. So whilst I'm down for, giving the players a reward for doing that, because, they're at the end of the day, it is a reward. And I do think that that's a good sort of idea as a reward, but I just think that if you look at it from the scope of, okay, we're benefiting the players that have experience and that have gone through the gauntlet, and then you're also benefiting them for choosing a certain style of play. Yeah. Honestly, this might be a little bit of a situation, but I kind of feel like that the meter boost should be there regardless if you have Director's Cut on or off.
Yeah,
but maybe you unlock it if you unlock Director's Cut in the first place. You just don't have to have it on for the meter boost. I think that having that particular step, that layer to get to that part of the gameplay loop, it shuts the door for a lot of people to fully immerse themselves. To fully get the experience of using the system. Because it forces you to go the extra mile, even if you don't want to do the Easter eggs, just so that you can enjoy the system that the game offers.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
some people might disagree, and that's completely all right. That's completely all right. I understand. Yeah. That's just my 2 cents.
Well, I think you got a good point there because you are working towards Director's Cut in order to get that, and for this thing just to be unlocked with Director's Cut, I mean, you're already getting a lot of benefits from Director's Cut as is. I don't really see the point of having it doubled when you're doing that in particular. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't seem right. It seems like it should be the same for both modes. Like, there shouldn't be any difference in how much you earn and everything. It should just always be the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard about it.
Unless if the only difference I can see is you add some kind of an upgrade, but you don't limit it behind a quest. I guess is what I would say. It's this is a very touchy subject because then you get into the territories of, well, how do we reward the player in game for completing certain Easter eggs? IW did this really, really well. For example, on Raven the Redwoods, if you complete the Easter egg and you're not playing in Director's Cut, you get access to the Smiley. That is an awesome reward for completing the egg. That is a really, really cool thing. And then you do get a passive reward that counts for all the maps if you beat the Super Easter egg. And
Yeah.
yeah, someone in my chat just said the only people that have problem are speedrunners, particularly catering towards the meter boost thing.
Ah.
I'll be honest, I am probably speaking from a biased position because I do speedrun
Well,
IW a lot. Um, it
I
probably doesn't matter as much to the casual player or to someone that's not going to be pursuing that particular thing. I think I might be biased in that. That's fair
Well,
to
no,
say.
I
But
think it's fair now that you mentioned it for me. I don't know, knowing that. I mean, I didn't know it before, but after knowing it, I think like that doesn't seem that great because I'd want to earn the same amount if I was just playing in normal mode. Then out of all modes, I think playing normal is when I'd want to earn more because that's when I'm working towards something, you know? I
yeah.
don't know. That's just kind of my take on it. But yeah, besides, if you never mentioned it, I probably would have never known about that. But yeah, so that's
It is a
interesting.
very niche thing. It is a very niche thing, but it
Yeah.
does add to the it does add to the gameplay.
What if they had wonder gums? Like one particular gum in every map that you could unlock that was like super incredible. I don't know
Wonder
what it would
gums.
be, but I'm just it's just the thought that came to mind, like a wonder gum.
So,
It just sounds great, you know?
if it's a Wonder Gum and it's gonna have like this really wild, unique idea that's like so adjacent to like the normal Gobblegum gameplay flow, I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking if it's a Wonder Gum, it's not even a gum.
No,
I'm
probably
thinking
not,
it's
but
something like bizarre, yeah, but it
yeah.
definitely an interesting idea.
It's just a thought because like we have our separate Easter egg quests that we do in every zombie game, like your Easter egg songs, your wonder weapon, your main Easter egg, or your hardcore Easter egg. But like an Easter egg for a gobble gum, and I've seen some done in mod maps before, and I think that's kind of what led me to the thought. But it's been done, but you usually get like just a really good gobble gum from the list of the ones we already know, of course.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
but I actually do like the idea, and if it's good enough, it is something worth working towards, you know? Um, but yeah, I getting like something really unique. I don't know what it would be, but I kind of wonder if that would be a fun thing to work towards, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a thought just
That
came
would
to me.
be that would I'm almost thinking of the free Gobblegum Easter eggs that we know of from
Mhm.
Shadows of Evil and Horizon,
Yeah,
and elevating that into it's not just an Easter egg to get a Gobblegum. It's an Easter egg to get the
the
Gobblegum.
gobblegum. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Gobblegum.
give it a little more worth, I think.
Like, add a little something extra, like, oh, you can't craft this. This
Mhm.
is unknown territory. We don't know
Yeah.
what is needed to distill this gum, but you can still get it.
Yep. Yeah.
That would
It
add
adds
this
it adds a pull
um
that somebody would want to
it
get
adds
that
a
thing, you know?
pull and it adds an identity to a map. Like you could give a map
Yeah.
a wonder weapon and you could give a map a like a wonder gum. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think that
I
would be
it's a fun
that's a
idea.
really interesting idea. It's like elevating on what Treyarch have done in the past, but like to a completely different extent.
Exactly. Oh, man. Some good
We're
ideas, man. We should be
cooking.
working for
We're
Activision
cooking.
here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so hopeful for what they bring for Black Ops 6. I'm just so thrilled they're coming back with Gobblegums. I just hope that they learn from all the previous games and what they've done for consumables and try
Yeah.
to make something that's just perfect, a perfect mix of what was best about all the other ones in other games.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
fully
each one
agree.
has its ups and each one has its downs. And
Yeah.
although Advanced Warfare technically did have consumables that you could pick up from the pods that were
Right,
patched out.
they were the pods in the gameplay. They
Yeah.
were literally gameplay driven. You
Well,
didn't
actually,
have the option
what do you
to
think
select them in
about that though?
loadouts.
Like getting
I mean,
getting consumables
it's
in
kind of
game.
sort of what
Like
we're talking about with the Wonder Gums in a sense,
yeah.
because the concept would be you wouldn't like load in with them. You wouldn't select them
Uh-huh.
for a loadout. You would do some kind of a quest to get them.
Yeah.
Um so it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that.
Kind of.
Um
Yeah.
or if anything, like they're a special kind of gum that's not necessarily like a gum, it's a like kind
Yeah.
of candy or something, but it's something unique that you would do to get access to it. And I know that's similar, not quite what you have with the pods in Exo Zombies, because in Exos it's like pretty much random when they come down and
Yeah,
what
it
they
is
contain.
random.
There's no intention behind it. Well, I say intention. There's no fixed things about it. There's no like sort of play style that you can build towards because it's a reaction, right? It's a
Yeah.
reaction. Um
Well,
the idea is that like Gobblegums already provide a variety to the gameplay loop. So if you're
yeah.
adding something like the pods into the gameplay, it shouldn't 100% be random. I feel like
Yeah,
it
I'm
should
thinking on the
be
same track
distinct,
here. Yeah.
it should be unique to the map,
Mhm.
and it should be like predictable. I think it should be
Combining
predictable.
our previous idea from before, the kind of the one of like being able to go into a menu in the game to buy a particular set of
So like the
gobble
Cold
gums
Words
that
or
are
Wonder
available
Fizz
to
interaction. Yeah,
use.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was thinking like what if they had kind of like the pod system that they had from Advanced
From
Warfare. A
Exos, right?
pod
Right.
crashes down, you go over to it, and it gives you a variety of gobblegums to pick from. And then you can pick from that list of particular ones. Once again, it gives that factor of something that you can't necessarily control, but you do also have a selection to choose from
I can
until the
visually
next
see this
pod.
actually. Like just
That
randomly,
is
there's a
interesting.
Gurst portal or Dark Ether portal, small thing that pops up somewhere, and it just
Yeah.
animates and it spawns in a Gobblegum machine, and you can go up to it for a limited time before the next round starts, and
Yeah.
you could just pop one, a free
Yeah.
Gobblegum,
Yeah.
maybe even,
I It's
you
kind
know.
of a fun concept. I've just been running with it. The one thing it goes against what I was talking about earlier. It's
It
like
does
I
add
like
that
having the
extra variety
predictability.
in game, less
It's a little
control,
bit
extra
misted,
variety,
but yeah.
but yeah.
Have you ever played a game called Risk of Rain or
I've
Risk of
heard
Rain
of
2
it. I have heard
technically?
of it. I have never played it.
You've never played it. So in that game, they have these stations you can go to, and they have like for instance, one of the stations will have four different items in it, and you would then look at all four and choose which one you want, and you could buy it. I almost wonder if like a drop could be something like that, where there are like certain options available, and you still get a choice.
Wait,
I
so
don't
what
know
you're
if that would
saying
work.
is like you give the players a choice out of a drop,
Uh huh.
like when you kill a zombie and you can choose between what kind
You
of a
choose
drop
the
that
best
is.
one that would benefit you in game.
So
Speed
I
running
like
that would
this
be horrible,
idea. I
but
like this idea. I don't think that it should be driven from like a UI standpoint where if you go up to it and you press a certain button
no, no, no.
on
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Um,
that sort of like how the drops are changed to a max ammo in Moon, like if you have the hacker pad, but like
mhm,
maybe you have a device and you can tether it to be a specific drop, and then you just have to spend a certain amount of points to force the drop into what you want once it spawns in.
sure. Yeah.
I think that there's a level of this that you shouldn't go into where it's like it's too complicated and it's too like the last thing
Yeah.
we want is a UI thing like BO4, and they've already given us
Yeah.
the knowledge
Yeah.
that we're gonna be able to customize the UI for our preference.
That is
So
a cool concept too.
the
Yeah.
battle
Yeah.
is to elevate, to give players choice, to have
Yep.
variety, but also not be too complex.
Yeah. It would. I don't think like a complicated UI is a good idea. That is for
Yeah.
sure not a thing you'd want. And that's kind of why I brought up Risk for Rain too, because you don't go into any fancy menus or anything in game to choose anything. Basically, you can visibly see the item really clearly, and then you buy whichever one you want, and it'll make it drop to the ground, and your character instantly picks it up. That's how they did it in Risk of Rain too. But for like the concept I'm thinking of, if like you had like a glowing symbol of each gobble gum being projected on the outside of this pod that gets dropped or something, and
Okay.
then you can go and just visibly look at them, you'd recognize
Like
which
you would
ones are
they
which,
would
and
show
you
the
would choose.
icons, so you would know
Yeah,
instantly
something
what's
like
in
that.
there. Right.
I don't know. Just a thought. Once again, it goes against what I was saying of like I like being able to choose ahead of time what kind of gobblegums or stuff I'd like to go into a match with and stuff.
Right, yeah.
Um but it is still that cool thing about mystery, and that's why I liked Risk of Rain 2, because you never know what you're gonna get, and that makes it so
I
cool
will
and
say
exciting.
that if you do mystery correctly in zombies, it's peak. Like
It's good.
that's what makes that's what really I feel like that the entertainment of the zombies gameplay just becomes so much more. 'Cause
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you involve like how the story is unfolding in the gameplay as well, and just like the unexpected moments within gameplay as well, like that's kind of linked to the lore as well. I think that's yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely
just kind
interesting.
of a fun idea. But yeah, sorry, just an odd thought. But I know you have a list of other topics you want to go on for gobblegums. So if you have another
It's
one,
not a
we
very
could start
long
on.
list, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I can split it into multiple things. So,
Okay.
right. Okay. I
Put
don't
you on the
think
spot.
we talked about this. Well, no, I didn't.
Yeah, go shoot.
I don't think we necessarily talked about I'll bring it up now. I don't believe we talked too much about how we've earned these in the past and what potentially that Treyarch could do to to earn to have the players earn these. So in Black Ops 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Liquid Divinium.
Yep. Yep.
You got it for buying things.
Yeah.
Or you completed a daily challenge that wasn't even guaranteed reward as Liquid Divinium. It might be XP.
Yeah.
And then you could convert that into distill if you wanted for the new student's cookbook option. Black
Yep.
Ops
Yeah.
4, Nebulian Plasma. You
Uh huh.
literally just go through rounds. Maybe you do an Easter.
Yeah.
And
Which one of those did
IW
you prefer
keys are
better?
pretty much the same way. And then there's no currency for like, you know, getting the consumable. It's just a crate that you would earn from World War II zombies.
Yep.
And you would choose either an order, a contract, or you would have to prestige if you're already max level, and every time you
Yep.
level up, you get a crate.
Get key
Um
crates. Yeah.
so there's limitations on progression, but there's still progression if you do it that way. Um I think all these have interesting ideas. All these different perspectives.
Which
Some of
one do
them
you
are
think did
obviously
it best though?
similar. Like you got the daily challenges or the daily or weekly contracts. IW BO3 and BO4 all kind of share this. And then World War II being only slightly different because yes, you do have those daily and weeklies, but you just outright earn them, right? There's no currency like Liquid Divinium or Nebulian Plasma or keys that you spend on the crates. Like there's no in-game currency. You just outright earn them for completing a challenge or for completing a level. Um, do you I guess because there's so many ways that you can go about thinking about this. Do you think that
Uh huh.
players should earn their gums outright from opening up because it'll probably be packs, right? Um should players be earning their gums from packs that the packs themselves are rewards for certain challenges, for an Easter egg, for completing a certain high round? Maybe it's a time thing. Or should players be able to farm and play the game and earn currency and spend the currency on like the difference between reward is the crate or reward is the currency for the crate. Like
Um.
that's basically the question. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say both, cause
Both.
yeah,
I like
that's
it.
one
I
thing
like
that's
it.
kind of bugged me a little bit in the past. And Liquid Divinium, and then when you mentioned that, I got me thinking about it, and also got me thinking how much I didn't necessarily like how I earned Liquid Divinium. Because certain gum balls, when you get them like shopping free, well, actually no, didn't it still give you Liquid Divinium for opening a door
I
on a
think it
shopping
can.
free?
I think it
I
can. I don't know for
Yeah, see,
sure,
it took
but
away from that, so then you wouldn't gain as much Liquid Divinium. And I never could figure out what would give me Liquid Divinium and what didn't. Sometimes I just buy a door, and all of a sudden, randomly, I get one and stuff. It seemed very
it's always a
unpredictable, you know?
purchase. It's always a purchase.
Yeah,
That's always
but
what it
never always
is.
every purchase you make. It's only ever
Yeah,
so
right.
often you get it right. So
It's scaled for the player's progression through the level. Um
yeah.
I think
It
that yeah, I think that probably not purchasing things is the best way to go about it.
yeah.
What do you think would
It's
be the best way that people would like for gameplay reasons? Because technically you only have a limited amount of purchases that you can make,
mhm.
kind of sorta. I mean, if you think about it with Pack-a-Punch, right? Some games you can infinitely spend points on that. You can also spend points on the box. You could down and get your perks back. Like there's technically
Yeah.
ways to like increase how much points that you would spend. But does it need to be funneled through points? Does it need to be funneled through spending, or can it be funneled through um just like I don't know, a
See,
threshold
it's
of
more
zombie kills, or and then
yeah.
special zombies give you additional progress, or completing an Easter egg step will give you either a VAT or a partial VAT, you know?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so
Like
as I
opening the
was saying
cracks
with
to
like
give
doing
players more.
both, I'm still with that just being like so getting points for killing zombies is a must. I feel that's a definite. That has to happen cuz that is the grind you're putting in. You're doing that work for a reason to either get your level up or to earn enough points for maybe depending on the system, maybe getting a chest or maybe getting particular amount of keys to buy chests or whatever the system is.
Right.
So I always feel that is a must, but also being rewarded for certain purchases at the same time too, I think is kind of a nice thing. Cause
Yeah.
so you have to waste your money, maybe a lot of money, on buying something in particular, and to get some reward back from it is kind of nice, you know? So
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of the two being mixed together and happening simultaneously to help you advance. And also going to like a different aspect like World War II, sometimes when you'd level up a certain amount, you would then get a chest. And it would give you a chest that you could then get consumables from. There's something about that I thought was cool too. That was pertaining to
Like, you would
prestige,
just
but
get it for playing the game. You didn't have to
yeah,
necessarily
certain things
purchase
you do.
anything, go crazy with that.
For that
Obviously,
one, I
doing
would
that
think
in the
that should
game would
happen
probably
randomly.
boost your XP, and then you would get
Yeah.
more levels, and then by association, you would get more crates.
Yeah,
But just,
do it
like,
like
from
liquid
playing the
divinium.
game.
Like instead of the liquid divinium, you would get a case for certain times you purchase randomly. You may earn a crate or something like that. I mean, that would be kind of cool. I don't know if everybody would be crazy about that kind of concept, but I was thinking like that to me would be a little more rewarding. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that
I
though?
see some
Is
people in my
that
chat saying that I would rather farm for a currency to get them.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
can see
I
that.
kind of I can see why people would want that, because then it doesn't like, because I mean, let's be honest, the alternative is you're kind of forced to play a certain way, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're doing like a challenge or something, then that challenge would like force you to play a certain way, and then the reward would be this, and you're like, well, I don't really want to do that right now. I'd rather do this, and you're not really
That's
getting
true.
rewarded for it. So I think that, yeah, if we have the best of both worlds, we have a in-game currency system that you earn through multiple avenues. I would say it's
Yeah,
probably
that's
best
really
if you
good.
build on it from points, you build on it from kills, you build on it,
Mhm.
or I guess maybe one of the two, not kills and points. Probably just points.
Purchases as well or
And then also potentially purchases,
okay.
potentially if you completed the Easter egg that game, or if you I don't know if they're going to bring X filling back, but if that's going to be
I
a
don't know.
factor into
Yeah, that's
it,
a good
how
question.
much you leveled up. I think that there should be a lot of different ways to earn the currency, but then there should also be maybe not as much but an even way of earning it through doing challenges, like
Yeah.
giving players the kind of challenges that they would like to do that satisfies people's gameplay, like not tedious ones, like yeah, you can do this and it's nice. Um and thinking about it now that I'm saying it out loud, because some of those challenges you could use it as an excuse to teach players about something that they may not know about the gameplay, and they're like, "Oh wow, I was rewarded for learning about this. That's kind of cool."
Yeah.
I can definitely see that still being nice, but I can also
Mhm.
see it being a bad thing, because if it's focused towards a very specific thing, players aren't really going to want it as much. But at the end of the day, you want to have variety, right? You want to be able
Yeah.
to earn directly, and you also want to be able to be rewarded for playing a certain way that the game has you play as. Because I think that there's
Yeah.
people who enjoy the challenge system, and I think that there's
Yeah, I
people
think
who
so too.
enjoy grinding the way they want to. And then obviously you got the group of people who are like, what's the most optimized way to farm it? I want to get it that way. And
Yeah, there's that
there
aspect of
there
the
is
challenge
always going to
too.
be that part of
That
the
makes
community.
sense.
There will always be. Myself
And
included, honestly.
I think that's fair. I think giving too much right away is not a good thing. In which I know I was talking about like the earning a random crate, but at the same time working towards it I think might be a little more rewarding than that. So, yeah,
Yeah, a little
that
bit of
makes a
both.
lot of
A little bit
sense,
of both, like you kind of like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, if it can be implemented right, I think it would be well worth it.
Yeah.
Well, great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Another one too. This is just a random thing, but I was looking at the Fate and Fortune cards that they have. I would love to see explosive touch become a
Oh!
gobble gum.
Oh!
That
Oh,
would be
dude.
cool.
Oh my god.
That's been
Okay,
such a
okay. I
useful one for a
don't I
lot of
don't
stuff.
want it to be a random drop like it was in Exos. I
No,
don't.
no, no.
I want it to be either a gum or make it its own perk, but like something
Yeah,
unique. Actually, you know what?
it's
No.
such a good one.
Treyarch, if you're gonna give us a new perk, god damn it, give us like Vigor Rush. Please.
Yeah, that's
Please.
a good one.
I've wanted that for so long.
Absolutely.
Please. Please. Elemental Pop change shoes doesn't cut it for me. I
No,
I
no.
want I want a Vigor Rush in BO6 Zombies. I would want that. And yeah, honestly, probably explosive touch through the Gobblegum system. It probably would make the most sense.
And
I would love that.
honestly,
Give
punching
us an
bags
evade
actually would
perk,
be kind of cool.
not a gum, but a perk.
Yeah, for
Okay,
evading.
so someone in my chat has just suggested this. Now,
I
for
don't know
balancing
about a perk
purposes,
for
if
that.
that was a perk, you would not be able to evade as often. You would not be
I
able
don't know if
to.
I can
There would be
agree
a
with that
longer
one
cooldown on
exactly.
that.
Just as a perk, well, I guess you could always choose the
Get
perk
rid of the
too. That's
killing
another
factor,
thing.
keep the speed. Ooh, that's interesting.
What is that?
That's interesting. Because there's two reasons we really like the evade card. One's for the speed, and the other is for the killing power. Yeah.
Wait, does it actually amplify your killing power? I never knew that.
No, 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 no. It's like if you evade into something, it will basically
Oh,
always kill it.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Like any
That I didn't. Okay.
zombie or like, if it's not
You
if
know
it's
they
a boss zombie, it's not going to kill it, but if it's just like a zombie, it's going to kill it always.
I
I
don't
I
know.
think I think that well, actually, I don't know how that they would balance
Um,
it that way, but I don't think that the card or the gobblegum, the concept of evading even needs to do damage. I don't even
I
think that
think
needs to
that
be a thing.
they
I
might
I I,
be
I
balanced
agree.
a little bit
The
as a perk.
speed part of it is what we want out of it. But
Mhm.
then again, you're also looking at BO6, and Treyarch are always thinking like, well, we've tried advanced quite a few times. There's definitely a community for that, but not a lot of people like that. Most people like grounded action. So I think asking for that might be a bit much. Probably won't see it, but maybe we'll get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for how they would innovate the movement system. Because
Yeah,
obviously we're
that's
getting omni movement, right?
kind of a thought.
How would they even more elevate that in zombies? I'm not sure if evade is really like the best thing to do for that. Like
I
I
mean,
don't I
I
don't
still
know.
see it as like a gobble gum. Putting it as a perk,
Right.
I mean, for people. I mean, from like a speedrunner standpoint, I can see how it definitely be useful. But
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me, I
obviously.
was one who never got the hang of using the evade card in Infinite Warfare. I did not see much point behind it because I didn't have a reason to go that fast. Like stamina up gives you the speed that you need, and to be able to zoom a little extra and stuff like that from
Right.
like a normal player standpoint, I never really saw the pull of it. So to me, it doesn't seem like it reaches a high enough tier to become a perk in itself.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea if they could maybe i- improve it a little bit more in some way. Maybe then, just so it gives the regular player benefit of some kind. Um, if it was like that and stamina up, like it's all in one, that could work. Um, I just can't see having them separate though, because for one, it's a speed boost much like stamina up is, so you're buying almost two stamina ups in a way. It's just how I'm thinking about it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to see. But
I
I don't know.
I don't really know how else it would be implemented as a perk if it were to come back. Let alone like in the gameplay experience itself, because again, you have Omni movement.
Yeah.
I
See, that's
if
interesting
anything, it would be
now.
a gum, but as much as I want it to come back, I don't think it's back.
Yeah.
We're already getting they're probably gonna do something to stamina up, and we're not even gonna want it. We're not even gonna need it. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I wonder if they're actually going to bring back the whole like tier system for perks as well. I just curious if they're going to do that again
yeah,
in the new game.
they'll do that.
I I thought it was kind of neat. It was a neat take. I don't know if I am crazy about that one though, but that's a different topic, of
That is
course.
a
But
different topic. Yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah.
just interesting thought. I hadn't thought about it too much, but
Maybe we can cook on it, and we can talk about it for the next episode,
yeah,
and
that'd be cool.
get our other guests thoughts on it as well.
Yeah, gotta get Carpal here.
And
Yeah,
we
gotta get that happening.
need
Oh, yeah,
I
what
want
were
to
the
hear
other
his
questions you
thoughts.
had on your list? Oh, yeah,
Um, so we talked about how players might earn gums. We talked
hmm
about well, we basically talked about the systems that are from the games, what we like about them. Did we talk about what we don't like?
not exactly. Not into depth. We may have touched a little bit. We kind of talked on some of the ones we didn't like, but we didn't really go into depth on it. So
And
we
we
could
did
talk about
also
that if you'd
talk
like.
about what we think might be returned. And what we also
Yeah,
think might not be returning.
what we
So
want to have returned. Yeah.
probably the last thread here from at least my my bullet point list would be
Okay.
what we don't like about the system, what we don't want to come back into. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm always of the opinion that we shouldn't limit player to the extent where it feels like really bad.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of how most of this stuff is limited through rounds, because every single system except for Infinite Warfare's is limited through rounds, where
It
you can't get
is.
another gum or you can't use another elixir until the round. You can't use another
Yep.
consumable. But with IW, you can charge, you can use, and then if you want to restock, you can restock at any time, right?
Yeah.
You have that choice to spend the points on it directly. It'll reset your meter, but um it just like closes that gap from the random cycle pool that the Gobblegum system has from BO3. I I think that IW did it really well. They gave the
Yeah.
player a variety of cards to use. They gave the player the choice of which ones at what time, and they gave the player the choice of when they can do it again.
Yeah.
Be-
Well, some
yeah,
could say Black Ops 3 kind of implemented that too. Of course, you had to pay more in order to get it
right. Yeah, you had to
to
pay
restock
more
every
to
time, but
get even more gums and to
yeah,
recycle, but you would have to wait because like if you want a certain gum at a certain point, you would literally have to plan in advance and be like, all right, I got to buy the gobble gum machine two more times, and then I have a
exactly.
1 in 5 chance of getting what I want. So it's like
Yep.
It's a nice sneaky way of like sneaking in, like interact with the gobblegum more like this, but it's not necessarily, benefiting you like that. It's more catered towards like just to use the system to use it, I guess. This
Yeah.
is the really only way that I can say it when I'm describing it like this. But I think excuse me. I think it would be I think
Hey,
it would be good
actually,
if we had more control over it.
one thing we are kind of forgetting is Black Ops 4 system, how it recharges after time. What are your thoughts on that? Like
So
the guns, but they
I
recharge after so much time.
yeah, so and then World War II's is entirely round based, I'm pretty sure. Some of the elixirs,
Once
I'm
you
pretty
use
sure it's
those, yeah,
isn't it
round
just
based,
the
yeah, yeah.
classics in BO4 that you can't use again until the round flips, but megas you can?
Ooh, it's been a little bit.
It's been a bit for me too, that's why I'm
That's a
asking,
good
but
question, actually.
um
I don't
a-
remember.
in any case, um there's still a cooldown. There's still a cooldown.
Yeah, there
We
is.
both
Yeah.
can agree on that.
Yep.
And the cooldown is nothing but time based. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing you can do to um there's nothing you can do to minute. There's nothing you can do. It's just
Yeah.
time. Maybe
You
ending
have
a
to wait
round.
no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to wait no matter what. And World War II has this issue as well because it's round based.
Yeah, that
Black
one's
Ops
round based. There's
3
no
doesn't
megas.
have this issue entirely because you can
Yeah.
technically blow through 3 in a row, but that's it. Then you got to wait for the round to end.
Yeah.
But I guess Black Ops 3 has that excuse because round robin exists, or raindrops exist, or dead of nuclear
That's
winter
true.
exists. So it does kind of get that bypass. So I feel like that if BO6 were to implement that in a way where you aren't completely limited, but you are limited to an extent because it's there for a reason. It's there for balancing, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I
so
agree.
I think that it's a good idea to have something in place, something to limit the players, but not like if I want to use more than one gobblegum, or if I want to use more than let's say a couple in a small period of time because I'm trying to do something specific, right?
Yeah.
I would like to have the choice. And most likely that would be through spending points or earning points, right? This is
Yeah.
why I hold the IW Fate and Fortune system so high
They
because
did a good job with it.
literally the system solves that problem perfectly. Yeah, it'll take a second to get there because it's based off of how fast that you can buy things. And to be fair, IW does kind of struggle from that because the interact system is not the best.
But
But
they
but
honestly had a good
you
system in
do
play.
have that system where if you want to refresh, you can do that. If you want meter, you can do that. Yeah, and then there's there's literally a card that ammo crate literally that benefits the player both in the ammo department, and it also allows the player to continue to go through that card gameplay experience. So it endorses the player for
Yeah.
using it because it benefits them with ammo. It benefits with them with another card immediately afterwards. It's like it's a chain. Ammo crate
Yeah.
is like the round robin of Infinite Warfare zombies, if you think about it. Kind of
Yep.
sorta.
No, no,
It's
I
kind of
agree.
like that. It is kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's I think that BO6, if it does have, because it should, right? It should have some form of limitation. There should be
Yeah.
a way for players to be rewarded for using a certain gum.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I see it implemented in every zombie game we've had, and so with every great thing we get, there is some sort of restriction with it. Um, which, in all fairness, I think it adds to the challenge of it. You have to account for rounds in order to get your gobblegums back or whatever.
Right. And
But
just to be clear,
as you were
because I think
saying,
my
the
chat is
fortune collection, great.
saying this, but
Uh-huh.
I don't mean round robin as ammo crate because ammo crate doesn't like flip rounds. Obviously, I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm more saying it towards like You bought gobble gum 3 times. You can't spin again till the next round, and spin and round robin, like that specific element of being able to get access to that. I'm not saying the round, right?
Yep.
I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm saying you
I
get
knew what
more
you meant. Yeah.
access. I got some questions in my chat. I wanna clarify my
Oh no.
intentions
Yeah,
on
I
that. But
gotcha.
yeah. If you can continue.
Yeah. No, pretty much that was my whole thought there. It's just I feel like Fate and Fortune it would probably be one of the best systems when it comes to cards and how they laid it out. I really like that. I just like having your consumables there and ready for you to use, and you have to use them in the best order that you see fit, but you have them, I like that. And I like that you could refill them and use them again, and it comes right out of the collection that you have, and all that. It felt really good. And yeah, so to get kind of a similar system to like Infinite Warfare, I think would be great. um all the other ones I can always see drawbacks. Like World War II is the big one that comes to mind. As I was mentioning before, like although the consumables you have, you can use them as many times as the particular one you chose. Like say it has 3 uses, you can use it 3 times. Um but then it doesn't take any more out of your inventory. After you've used that, there's no way you can get any more consumables. That's just it. What you take in, that's all you got.
Right.
Which is it's fine. It's a great concept for the game. But I like that you can refill your consumables and use them again. And like Black Ops 3 has a similar system where you can buy them again, of course, and you can keep hitting the gobblegum machine. And I also did like that every round it's free, so you didn't have to actually always be paying for it too.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of a nice thing
Like you
also.
literally
But
just have to take the time to
yeah.
go to it, and you can grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the mystery in that one makes it a little difficult, especially for like your speed running and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you're gonna get, and if you don't get the right one, well, it might have just ruined the whole run. So yeah, everyone's got their ups and downs,
Yeah.
But Fate and
Absolutely.
Fortune, I think, had more ups than downs
I
personally
I
for that
I I
system.
honestly think so as well. I think so as well. Just the
Yeah,
system and how it was implemented into the gameplay, not necessarily the perks,
yeah,
because obviously they are designed for IW, right? They're designed for that specific game, but
yeah,
yeah, because obviously Black Ops 6 is gonna have its own, probably gonna have some new ones, and it's yeah, it's gonna be unique. It should be unique, but yeah, no, it's just you need to you want to have that open option for players so that they can use them at will, and they have choice, and they're not limited by RNG or how many times that they purchase a gobblegum. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like still involve points, still involve a purchase.
yeah,
But give the player a obvious way for them to like, navigate through
yeah.
their through what they have, what they want to use, instead of reliance on a little bit of mystery or knowledge like you mentioned, and also that RNG aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as we've mentioned before, like that whole mystery concept does add a particular thing to a game. And I think the way that they've made each map in the past has its own uniqueness in the way you play it and the way it feels and everything. So
Right.
I get having all those changes. But yeah, for Black Ops 6, I think I am more hoping for like maybe almost like a Fate and Fortune card system, but with gumballs or something like that.
Right, yeah. I would have
That
to
is
agree. I
intriguing.
would honestly have to agree. Um
Yeah, I
it's
have
like
no idea.
you would still be able to maybe I don't know. Maybe you select a you make a couple of pre-made loadouts for gumball packs. Yeah, you have them designed, and then inside the game you find the gobblegum machine, and you select you can purchase like you can select a pack free, right?
Yeah,
At all times, you can always select a pack for free,
yeah,
and you can choose between which gum that you want to use from that pack. But you just have to earn it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just have
yeah,
to earn it.
exactly. Yeah. Hey, I
That's
had
it.
another question for you in regards to gumballs though. Since this is a brand new game and there's most likely going to be new gobble gums and all kinds of other stuff added to the game, what if you could create a gobble gum that you think would benefit you most going through this new Call of Duty game? What gumball would help you the most? Like, if you were to create something, what would assist you most, whether it's speed running or just going into zombies? Like, what do you think they should add, if that makes sense?
It does make sense. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's a good question. I guess there's so many different ways that like you could think about this cuz
yeah,
they've done so many things from like obviously the normal gameplay loop
yeah,
and from what I can stop to think of myself, there's obviously a few things that I think off the top of my head, like ammo, points, perks, basics like
yeah,
that we're already they're already used to. But you're asking about gums that maybe haven't been in the game and that would benefit
yeah,
players overall.
yeah,
Um
something like that. Yeah,
so
I know it's kind of a hard
it
one
is a
because there's
hard
been
one.
so
Yeah, I
many
was
that's
gonna
been
say
created.
you gave me a hard
Um,
one. You did. You
well,
kind of did,
nobody's
but I
saying
like
it's
it.
gonna
I
be
like
easy,
thinking
you
like
know?
this. I
Yeah,
like this. Um.
yeah. Honestly, I
Okay.
don't even know.
Okay. So someone just put this in my chat, and thank you for putting
Uh,
this in my chat because this actually this is so cool. I'm gonna quick shout out to one of my good friends that I do zombies marathons with.
okay,
He goes by like we call him AJ. I think on Xbox he's known as Berserker. Um
very cool. Good name.
I don't think he does YouTube or anything like that. But I was talking to him the other day because I knew I wanted to do this conversation. I knew I wanted to make this stream happen or this video happen, whichever platform that you guys are watching this on. And I knew that I wanted to think about gums, and so I got into a party with him, and I was like, "Yo, let's just yap for a second." And one of the ideas that he had, we brought up the discussion about your anywhere but here's, your ABHs,
Oh yeah.
your escape routes from IW, and we started talking about how they're different in all the different games, and how in Black Ops
Yeah, they are
3
actually.
it's anywhere that is a set location that the game like is coded except for like the closest area that you count for. Black Ops
Mhm.
4, pretty sure that last part is ignored and everything else is fair game. Yeah, Black
Uh-huh.
Ops 4, you know what you did. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then Escape Route is the only one of them that isn't the classic. It's a fortune card. It's like a mega. And the reason why is because there is logic to where it brings you to. Where you are in the round of your zombies dictates where you end up. There is
Sure.
consistency in that kind of ABH. You see it all the time in the IW speedruns, and it's there for a reason. It's because it's a mechanic. It's just the
Yeah.
way that that version of the card works. And so uh again referencing my friend that I talked with a little bit earlier outside of this and also someone just mentioned this in chat.
Mhm.
Very similar
Yeah.
to the transponder. Transponder that you guys are probably familiar with from Spacelands. You spend your tickets and you throw a transponder down on the ground and it marks a location and you press that button later to go back to it. So, um, and this kind of goes with the UI for ABHs. Black Ops 4 you only had one use. Black Ops 3 you had two uses, and then in
Yeah.
IW you had one. What if your position you popped the card and it would pop the card halfway, or it would you'd blow the
Okay.
bubble halfway. You'd blow it once and you'd pop it, and it would mark and it would remember your location of where you were.
Oh,
And then
like a
anywhere you are
teleporter gun.
afterwards, you pop the gum again. It actually uses the gum this time, but it teleports you to where you set. That
I
would
actually like
be
that idea.
broken.
That would be
That
cool.
would be so cool. That
That
would be
would
so
be.
cool.
That's a great idea. Wow. Yeah, I like that one.
Shout out to Pink Half Moon in my chat as well as my boy AJ for that one. Shout out to
Great
y'all.
idea. Yeah.
Thank y'all for the idea. I definitely think
That's a
that's
very good
that's a
idea.
very interesting way to think about that specific perk, and I would love that to be in BO6 actually.
That would be sick. Yeah, I never even thought about that one. And here I was just gonna suggest maybe like, maybe a gobble gum that gives you a wonder weapon, gives you a ray gun. No, I think that
Just a
might be a little
random wonder
overpowered now.
weapon. Dude,
No, not
that
seriously
would
though.
be
I've never
that'd
actually
be
thought about it
that. I
too
don't know
much.
about that. I don't know about that.
No, no,
That'd be a
that
bit
wouldn't be a
much.
good one, I don't think.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
people would much prefer to get a buff anyways, but no, it's like if I was to like create a custom gobble gum of some sort, it's difficult because a lot of the great things have already been done, of course. It just I
I
cannot think of how I would set
I
it
don't
up
know
better
if
than that.
see this is the thing. I don't know if Black Ops 6 Zombies needs original gums as much as it needs innovation. I still want there to be
Yeah.
like new gums. Don't get me wrong, and I mentioned that earlier,
Yeah, I
but I
think that
do
would be
think
nice.
we would benefit from some innovation. I
Yeah.
think we would benefit from some
Yeah. And
like kind of
bringing
what we're
back a
talking
lot of
about
those
with
custom
escape
warp
route
stuff
or
just
anywhere but here, ABH.
yeah.
I think that a level of a certain degree or certain level of like upgrading that um you know would benefit.
Oh, I got it. I know what
Yeah,
would be a good one. So you know
innovate.
how
That was
when
the
you're
word I was
trying
looking for.
to
Sorry.
do an Easter egg step, but maybe you're holding a zombie or something like that. Um, Nice thing for an Easter egg step, if you're with somebody else in game, you can have them take the zombie and train it and just hold on to it while you're doing this complex step. So what if you had a gobble gum that actually would distract the zombie, maybe like complete the it's not like what is it? Not like camouflage where it wears off after a bit, but this one where you can activate it and wow, that seems a little too powerful. Nah, that wouldn't work. That would completely break the game.
Okay, so
But
I'm
something to
gonna
keep your
I
zombie
apologize for
distracted,
this. I apologize for this,
Go ahead.
but I'm gonna interject,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I am gonna fully disagree with the whole
No, that's okay.
core idea, and I'll tell you
That's why
why.
we're talking about it. Yeah, yeah, go for it.
I'm pretty sure I don't know for sure if it's been confirmed. If anyone knows in the chat better than me, then y'all know. But I'm pretty sure online pause is a thing, which
On
kind of removes the
oh.
need for that in the first place.
But a pause would pause the whole game, then you wouldn't be able to complete the step.
Okay, why do you need to hold a zombie?
Well, for like Easter egg steps. So like I'll give you an example. So like in Advanced Warfare, there was a color code step in where's that final map? I can't remember the name of that one. Descent, was it? Oof, I cannot remember the name of that one particular map.
Maybe it
That was
was,
actually
maybe it
that was
wasn't.
Burger Town.
But yeah, go on.
Maybe Descent. But anyways, there's this color step where you have to it's like Simon Says, and you have to watch the order and it's very long. You have to put in quite a few cues. And every time we've done it, we've been lucky enough to have multiple people in game to keep the zombie distracted and stuff like
Right,
that.
right. I see what you
Um
mean.
but when you're in a big step like that, you have a zombie that's following you every minute. So you have to kind of run around while at the same time trying to pay attention to the lights and stuff. I was kind of thinking like something to keep the
Something
zombie
to keep the
distracted
zombie
so
busy.
that you
Yeah.
can complete your step,
I can see that. I can see that. I
especially
think
for
that
harder
the
maps.
fact that that's like
But
in the gameplay as well, it's intentional for the difficulty in the first place.
yeah, I
I
get
think it
that.
has a place there, and the problem with like the solution I guess to this in a way is if you're trying to process a Easter egg thing,
Yeah.
and you need the time to
Yeah.
definitely just hit the pause button. I feel like that is just a better approach to it. That's just my
But what about in like a say like a multiplayer game though, where you're joining random people having a pause
um
button?
so
I feel like it's a bad idea.
well, the thing is that
Oh,
zombies as of recently has been pushing players to play more and more cooperatively and less so.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an argument to be made there. I don't know.
Because there's going to be a kid out there who's just going to pause and play and pause and play just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're coming across randos, I
So
feel
someone in
like
my
that is a
chat just
power
said
that
you
maybe
want a
should be
monkey
given.
bomb for a gumball. So like
Yeah,
sort of, but
exactly,
not
like that, like a
really. Like it's got
distraction
the
thing.
monkey bomb effect, and it's designed in a
Um,
way to like give the zombie something to do, but it just won't die. Like it'll just be put in place.
what
Um,
game has that? One
Honestly,
of our
the
zombies
only
does
thing I
have
can
that.
see that being is just a glitch. That's the only thing I can see that being. It's just a glitch that
Well,
people are able
there
to
is a
use, and
game
they
that
they just don't
has
patch it.
one of
Like
those.
you
I
mentioned earlier, like that would elevate the experience in a way where it's like, it's a really cool glitch and it'll be really awesome, but then like we don't want them to patch it. It's kind of like that. I don't think that that would be yeah, I don't think that
doesn't
that would be a gum.
Advanced Warfare have that? Like, there's a speaker that makes noise and it attracts all the zombies to it, but it doesn't blow up. For some reason, I'm remembering this, but I cannot for the life of me remember what zombie game it is. It attracts all the zombies, but it's not like a monkey bomb. What game is that? Oof.
Yeah, you lost me on that one.
Maybe it's Back for
you
Blood, I'm
definitely
thinking
you
of.
definitely
Maybe
lost me
Back
on
for Blood has it.
maybe.
Yeah, it is Back for Blood.
It
Yeah. Oh,
is.
so Back for Blood has it's like it goes into your grenade slot, but you throw it and it's just a speaker that attracts the zombies to it. Doesn't kill them, but it keeps them in an area for just a small while. It doesn't last very long in that particular game. Which it would be nice if it lasted a little longer, but you can mix it up with grenades or maybe have them go into a trap or something, whatever. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
something like that maybe would be kind of cool, but it has to last long enough. And just so it's not like over super quick because when you're doing an Easter egg step, usually you need the time.
Right, you want to
It's just
elongate that exactly because if
as
it's
long
super
as
quick, it may
possible,
as
but
well be some kind of a lethal, right? It may as
yeah,
well
yeah,
be some kind of an offense against the zombies. But I see the
yeah.
point that you're trying to make. Is just like
Just
catering to
some
more of like
Easter egg steps
players
are
that want to
rougher
play
than others.
public, or are making that choice but don't want to like suffer from playing in
Yeah,
public match. As zombies has so been like if you've been playing zombies for a while, you know the public experience it ain't it, Chief.
yeah.
It ain't it.
Yeah, that's the
It's
only
just never
thing with
been
the
it.
pausing idea that bothers me because I've played in other matches with other people and there has been people where they can just be the worst sometimes depending
Yeah, yeah.
who you get to play with, and especially playing
I
with
know what you mean.
randos, giving them the power of a pause button. Somebody maybe just is going to go AFK, pause the whole game, and not come back to it.
I
That could
mean,
happen. Like I don't know. That
that's
idea doesn't sit well. Custom
yeah,
matches, sure,
that's I
but
feel like that's
I don't know about
something
that.
that you'll just run into, but like if you don't want that to be an issue, then probably have that not be an option for public matches because it's
Yeah,
always running and people are always going to be going for a public match, right? There's just always moving during it.
yeah.
So I feel like
So
that to cater
kind of a
to
no-brainer.
that particular like, that gripe, just not
Yeah,
having that feature be in public matches, but having it be in a solo or private match to more focus a small party rather than
yeah.
what affects everyone, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like the idea of being able to pause because there's certain moments would be nice. And I was thinking about that recently when I was playing World War II. I was going with another person. We were trying to do the Shadow Throne Room. And there were moments in game where it would have been really nice to pause it because we were trying to use the Easter egg guide to go through the whole process and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But at the same time, it for just randos when you get it in, that just seems like it would be the worst. And I can't imagine it working. But
Yeah.
yeah, custom or like a private match or solo, that would be perfect. Solo, you can already do it, of course, but for like a custom match, maybe that would
I
be
know
the area to have
we
the
need an
pause
internet
option.
connection to play Black Ops 6 Zombie. That much we know.
Yeah, yeah,
But we need to be able to play. Even if it needs
yeah,
a network connect, we need to be able to play solo.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
No,
that's that's
I
a
feel that's a
requirement.
must. Yeah. They are gonna have a solo option in game, right? I mean, I haven't heard anything otherwise,
I cannot
but
say if they do because I don't know.
Man, I hope so.
I really,
Okay.
really hope to God that they do. I mean, the last
I
game,
do
that
too.
wasn't a thing. That wasn't a thing in,
Modern Warfare you're talking about,
MWZ.
right?
It was not a thing.
I haven't played it yet, so I don't even know.
Oh, you have not played the Modern Warfare
No.
Zombies game yet?
I wasn't on board with it.
See,
Some
I
stuff
don't
had
wanna
me
be
very
that guy
upset
that
with
says
that
you're
one.
not missing much. But,
I know I'm missing a few things. I've seen some videos of
you're
cool stuff that
literally only
happened in
missing a
game,
few
but
things. That's it. You're only missing a
it's
few.
only a few. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
from
you. You are a
I'll get a bit
round-based
excited.
zombies enjoyer.
I am.
You
Very much
are
so.
not going to look too much into the game.
Okay.
You
I
probably
did
won't.
enjoy some of the concepts from Cold War, like
That
their
doesn't mean that
outbreak
you are
maps and stuff
immune
were
to having
interesting.
fun with it. Like, it's definitely
Yeah,
possible you
I'm
would have
sure
fun with it.
I'd have fun with it. Yeah. Just it wasn't from all the reviews, everything. I mean, for the Steam store, they literally have it as a negative review on that game.
Yeah.
And also just
Yeah,
everything I've heard and
yeah.
what I know, it didn't stand out as one I really wanted to play so much. But
Yeah.
I mean, if I get a good deal on the game, maybe I'll get it and I'll give it a try. But it's just
Wait for
the
it to
games
come
are
out on
coming too
Game
much like Fortnite.
Pass.
Gamepad. Oh, that'd be cool. um, but yeah,
Imagine.
it's becoming so much like Fortnite, and Fortnite has been a game that's kind of bugged me recently, just with the whole like pay to win stuff. That is really ruining
Yeah.
the game for me the most, and
Yeah.
the whole kind of online concepts of it becoming almost like PUBG, and I don't know. It just it I don't play those games to get that kind of feel when I go into them. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely more of a round based kind of person, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm so excited to see they're bringing that back. I just want less buyable stuff. I think most of all, the whole pay to win thing is number one on my list for the annoying things that I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Um, and also we get playable characters. So excited about that, but
Oh
that's
my
off
god,
topic.
yes. That's a discussion for
Love
another
that.
day probably, but
Yeah,
yeah. All right.
it's a great thing.
This is so I've been streaming for a little bit over 2 hours now. I feel like that we have had a good Yapp sesh. My bullet
I think
list
so
is
too.
complete. I don't know if yours is.
We are now open to taking phone calls. Caller number one, you're on the line. No, I was kidding. I just always want to say that, but no. I think that's pretty much all the topics I had about it. I got a lot of
Okay,
high
okay.
hopes for the Gobble Gums and stuff, but I'm just excited to see what they bring.
Yeah,
I
as
can't
am
wait.
I, as am I. All right. Well, I had a fun, I had a blast doing this. Hopefully
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
turns out to be a good YouTube video or
We
a
gotta
good
get
stream.
Purple in here for the
In
next one.
retrospect, we'll definitely get him in here for the next
Yeah,
discussion that we have soon. I think that'd be really
absolutely.
awesome. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the discussion. I
Thanks everybody for coming out. Appreciate
that's
you
gonna be
guys.
it. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. If you guys were here live for the Yapp sesh, with the with the Wundercast
Wondercast. Yep,
as we're
yep.
referring to ourselves.
The
We'll
Wondercast.
see how that
I don't have
clicks.
any air horns. I wish I did.
We don't. Yeah, we don't.